Bitcoin, we've got the 5-wave advance here, ABC 2-wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a third wave, with a fifth wave failing on the fifth, which is not ideal, but it counts pretty well. Now we've got a clear ABC at the moment. Obviously we don't want that to become an impulsive move, because then it would suggest we've actually seen an ABC here, and that's just a correction we've just seen, and this could be impulsive action. But at the moment we've got no confirmation of a low, but I'm rather expecting this to be a correction, not an impulsive sell-off. But it's currently, well, quite sharp. See how that develops, but I'm still pretty positive at the moment, given the wave pattern so far, which is pretty clear 5, and that would normally be an ABC if it was a corrective move. ABC 2 and a clearly impulsive 3. So overall, the odds favour this continuing, but only in a fifth wave, in fact, and then we'll see a more significant correction. But the trend is up, I think, at the moment. Same goes for Ethereum. We've got the 5-wave advance, ABC. Sorry, well, actually, we've got an impulsive looking 2-wave, which looks more like a 5. In fact, we'll ignore that little fact, because it has gone up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC quite sharp again, and I expect this fifth wave to come in quite soon to complete this pattern again. So same basic parameters. Clear ABC here actually, which is quite important, suggesting it's just a correction. So A, B, and a C. Yes, that's pretty much covers Ethereum. Same goes for gold. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This looks like an irregular correction making a new high. So A, B, C, B. Now a C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a case that this should be the low, but again, no real confirmation right at the moment. Maybe we should put that there just as there is that wave pattern suggesting that low could be in as well at this point. So basically no change there. And again, a fifth wave required to complete wave 3. So giving us a 1, 2, and then a 3 up here somewhere. Same goes to silver, quite a big correction here, in fact. So A, B, C. Again, the C could be over at this point, but no confirmation at this present time. And this should be a fifth wave coming in to complete the move from here. So it'll be a third wave, in fact. Or it could be 1 of 3, but we'll see how that develops. But right now, I think, I'm not saying the low's actually in, but it was certainly, it's a fairly decent correction, so I think there's a reasonable case it's in. Plus, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So there is a reasonable case that this could well be a low on silver. Right, on the FTSE, we're still waiting for the peak. I mean, it's possible the peak's actually in already. Let's have a look at the shorter term action here just to see whether anything that indicates a peak is in. So this is the fifth wave to here, which is possible, I guess. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a wedge pattern because waves 1 and 4 overlap. So there's a case, and this is quite sharp. So there's a case that FTSE has peaked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be the end of 1, in fact. So a bit of a correction now. So any kind of peak around 7,900 might be a good shorting opportunity. It's possible that the peak has actually been seen on FTSE with this final 5-hour advance here. The same goes to the DAX. We've got the 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the peaks. I think there's a good case that peaks in on the DAX as well. Let's go down to a shorter term chart. Let's see how this decline looks. It looks pretty impulsive, as you can see. Let's expand this a little bit. I thought it could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very small 2-wave, as it were, but that does seem to make sense with a low here. ABC perhaps. I'll just put the fibs on there as well on the DAX. See how that looks. Okay, so the 5 waves down, quite a small 2-wave obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now A, B, C, I mean, it looks like it might get to 50% perhaps. I think that 50% is probably quite a good target, 15,430 odd. And we then see perhaps a 1-wave decline and a 2-wave. And we've got option expiry at the end of the coming week. So that could fit in with perhaps accelerated 3rd wave coming in just after expiry, the following week, not next week, but the week after. So I would bear that in mind. and obviously this is a major decline, then this rally is the time to short it really. If you're not short already, of course, it's easier shorting the corrective rally than shorting the peak, because the peak is often unclear, but the rally is often, the corrections are often somewhat easier to count, as it were. But anyway, I expect it to bounce back to at least that level, the 50% level, but maybe up to here. Fourth wave resistance is around here at 15,470 odd. Yeah, I think this peak I've been talking about for some time now is now perhaps behind us, and the path is downwards from here on for, well, maybe quite a while, I'm afraid. Let's see what the Dow has to say. Well, the Dow's rather kicking its heels, perhaps while the FTSE and the European markets catch up. We've still got the 5 waves down, obviously, and that's historic, it's not going to change. 5 waves down, ABC, 1 of 3. This thing is getting quite complicated, but it does look fairly corrective. So the third wave could now have begun. I think there's a case for that, certainly. Which we'll put it in step with FTSE, in fact. So again, we've got the, we've already got the 1 of 3, with a 2, 3 of 3 quite imminent. We may see a 5 wave decline perhaps in the coming days, then a bounce back into expiry, and then maybe a bigger decline coming in after expiry. But again, I think this, this pattern has become rather extended as the other markets catch up, perhaps. But I think there's a plausible explanation for that. But the negativity, the 5 waves decline here, and a bit of an impulsive sell-off here, all suggest the main way is down at this point. On to the Nasdaq. Right, the Nasdaq's seen as ABC. We discussed that before. Let's go down to shorter-term chart if it might be a little bit clearer on that. But there's nothing here to say that there's peaks in here. Right? ABC there, weak bounce. This looks corrective, in fact. So the Nasdaq is yet to confirm that this is a peak of any importance. Obviously, it could be a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, some kind of third wave, perhaps. But not much to go on right now on the Nasdaq. That's all for today. If that's useful, I'll be back with a report on Tuesday. Given the situation, I might well update earlier as things actually happen, if there are things developing more quickly that I think need some comment. But otherwise, I'll stick to the normal routine. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.